Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get right into your twin flame reading. Let's find out what's going on in your connection. What the heck is going on in your twin flame connection? Please let us have some insight on what is going on. Ooh, we have the Devil card. We have the Tower card. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Page of Wands, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So right away, the first card that's come up is the Devil card. So what I'm getting from this card is that a lot of insecurities are coming up for both of you in your connection. You may not be getting any communication. You may actually be feeling like things have drifted, that you know you're trying to connect to your twin flame and it's like you can't connect with them, or you don't feel them, or it's like they're just drifting away. So because of this disconnect, it's bringing up a lot of feelings of insecurity and a feeling like confusion, like what's going on, feeling like just different energy, like not connecting. I'm even having trouble trying to describe it. So a lot of insecure feelings coming up, triggering a lot of fear. And this is the energy that's going on not only in the twin flame collective, but on the planet. So a lot of shifts are happening energetically. And what that means is that as energy shifts, we actually feel those shifts, even though we don't know that they're happening. We feel them on a very kind of subtle, we feel them very subtly, or we feel them greatly, depending if you're very empathic or not. So these fears that are coming up are actually what is needed to happen in order for this kind of, I want to say, like cleansing of what no longer is working in our lives and even on the planet. So a lot of these fears that are coming up are so that we can release them. So these fears, these attachments, a lot of ego-based stuff. I'm even picking up like blame from within your connection. And even if some of us can't really admit that we are blaming our twin flame, it can stem from past life. And a lot of this resentment and blame is coming up, which may be reflected in other areas of life, or even other relationships, has to come up in order to be released. Because if we're hanging on to this, these negative emotions, these negative energies, we're not able to push forward and bring in the new energies. So it's almost like a purging. Again, I use the word cleansing. So for a lot of twin flames going through this, it's almost necessary. So not to worry or panic if you're feeling like, like old triggers are coming up, like being cheated on, or feeling like something's being hidden from you. So it's actually, all these feelings are actually coming up in order to be cleared and released. So right away, the second card was the Tower card. So similarly, your connection, or the foundation of your connection, may be crumbling. You may be feeling like, when the ground beneath you is just crumbling beneath you, you feel like that's what's happening in your connection. You feel like there's no stability, no security, like you can't stand firmly. Things are rocky. You don't know where you stand. So again, this ties in with the Devil card because of what's going on the planet, with these energies that are kind of permeating our planet in order to heal this is how we experience these healing energies, as old foundations are being like wiped away. So as much as we want our like we're holding on to everything to keep things together, to keep things in place, it's very difficult to let that go. But when we do let that go, what happens is that the old is cleared away in order to bring in the new. So for those of us who are experiencing these tower moments, it could be like emotional. You could be triggered from other areas of life: job, career, work, health, other relationships, family. It's very natural for these things to impact our twin flame connection. And the underlying thing that connects everything is our experience within, our emotional experience, and the experience of our inner child. So it's our inner child that is experiencing all these emotions, all these fears, all these worries that, you know, something bad is happening. And so we just have to comfort ourselves, comfort our inner child, in knowing that sometimes, you know, thunderstorms happen, rain must fall, like bad weather happens for a reason. And usually it's because there's so much pressure being built and built and built, that these storms are a way of releasing the pressure. So know that whatever you're experiencing is also happening within your inner child, but for good reason. Because as this pressure builds, we are able to finally release it. And sometimes these things happen to force us to release these things emotionally, to help our inner child release all of the suppressed emotion, suppressed sadness, anger, resentment, revenge, all these emotions that have been stored within our inner child are now able to be released through these things that are happening in our lives. So not to worry, just push through, breathe, and know that whatever is happening in order to feel these emotions, to let them go. So whatever you're experiencing in your twin flame connection is okay, and is actually very necessary in order to move forward. Okay, so the next card we had was, I believe it was the Three of Wands. So what I'm picking up from this card is that for many of us, our attention is focused on like what's happening in our lives, and with what's going on in the world, we may have to focus on priorities such as, you know, finances, responsibility, work, career. Maybe for many of us, we've had to switch careers, switch gears, switch things up. So it's almost like we've had to pay less attention to our twin flame connection and focus more on, I don't want to say survival, but more on the task at hand. Maybe if that was putting out fires, you know, in terms of work, career, business, having to pivot our business. So there are very many factors that cause us to actually not focus so much on our twin flame connection. And for a lot of us, that can be frightening, because when we're connected to something, and then all of a sudden, when we don't feel that connection anymore, it's like there's something that you feel is lost or is being lost. And again, it's just refocusing of attention on things at hand. So if that's work, like I'm getting a lot of like transition, like moving. Maybe for a lot of you, you've had to move. You've like had to go to a different city, or there's just been something in your life where you've had to really focus on. And so of course that takes away focus from our twin flame connection. And so this was only because it was necessary. So if you're not experiencing this, then your twin flame may be experiencing this. So you may have felt like them detaching. You may have felt like they've just let go and they're on another planet or something. And again, it triggers our fear of, have they moved on? Are they in a new connection? What's going on? And so what I'm getting is that I'm not getting so much that they're in a new connection, but what I'm getting is that they may have moved into a situation to distract them from the fears that are coming up of what's happening in the world. It could even be on a personal level, like they're going through a lot of upheaval and it's affecting them emotionally. So a lot of the times, we get caught up in other situations, maybe other relationships or connections, so that we can cope with, or not have to cope with or face the realities of what's going on in our lives and in the world. So they just may need an escape to escape to. So if you're feeling disconnected, it's not that they've, that they're out of your connection. They're just trying to find their way and feel safe again. And a lot of the times they do want to reach out to you during this turmoil, but when there's no communication, it's hard to know if it's going to be if they're going to feel welcomed or not. So it's not like they've turned their back, but it's just that they've had to navigate other areas of their life that have been taking up a lot of attention. Okay, so the next one I believe was Page of Wands. So what I'm getting here is that no matter what your twin flame is experiencing, this is like they're beginning a new cycle. The page is an energy of beginner or a novice. And so where they are, or even where your twin flame connection is that it's cycling at a point where it's starting over again. So it's almost like, that beginning phase of meeting someone and you're getting to know each other. You guys are reacquainting yourselves with your connection, however that may look. Even if it's non-communication, no communication, you're both navigating your connection newly from a new perspective, from a new vantage point, from a new place. Again, because of what's happening energetically, you are meeting each other in this connection in a new place. So that's more on an energy level. So emotionally, it does bring up a lot of fear because it's new, it's different, it's on different footing, it's on different, it just feels different. And that's very understandable. So what this is that it's a new beginning in your connection. It's going to look different, it's going to feel different for both of you. But what I'm getting is that there is common ground, that both of you are still very much looking for security, looking for home. You're both very much wanting to be on the same page. You don't want to lose one another. Again, despite what they may be doing or not doing, they still want this connection. They're still emotionally on the same page. They're just not able to communicate that or take action. So this is the Nine of Pentacles, and for what I'm getting for this is that this is doubting if this is worth all the effort. Because it's a lot of work, because it's like an investment of time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. I know the thoughts that are coming up are like, is this even worth it? Should I just move on to someone else because it's easier? I get it. This is what twin flames everywhere are thinking. And so this is very natural. But what I am getting is that when you drop into your heart space, free of fear, then you will reconnect to your twin flame and your connection in a way that will tell you that it is worth it. It is worth it because this connection is part of who you are. Saying goodbye to your twin flame connection is like saying goodbye to a part of yourself. Now, whatever choice you choose, whether it's your twin flame connection or not, or whether it's a soulmate or a karmic, is quite okay. Your twin flame may be doing the same thing. So whatever choices we make has a consequence. And I'm not going to say what's going to happen with whatever you choose, because that's your own journey. I can, kind of feel into the energy, but again, that can be a personal twin flame reading for you. But it's never right or wrong. And if we choose to step off our twin flame connection, that is okay. We have free will. There is reason. There's a lot going on the planet that, puts a lot of pressure, and we just want to feel like we have someone that's there for us. I get that. And that's okay. It just means, there's a detour on the twin flame journey. So if you're debating whether or not you want to continue, whether you're going through this or both you and your twin flame are debating, whatever you choose is okay. And it is okay for you. There's no right or wrong. You're not going to be punished for, the wrong choice. Whatever you choose is the right choice for you. So, not to worry. So let's continue on, and let's see what's going on. What else is going on with your twin flame that is blocking them from reaching out to you? Let's go for that. What is your twin flame experiencing that is preventing them from reaching out? So this was the first one. It says, I'm hurting. What was the other one? This says, I feel scared of this connection. So your twin flame is going through a lot of emotions. A lot of emotions that have been suppressed when you were together or when you first connected are now coming to the surface, so they cannot deny these feelings anymore. And a lot of these feelings are what's being suppressed, not only from their childhood, but from, past lives that you've shared together, and a lot of hurt. So you're feeling rejected or abandoned. They're feeling the same thing. They're going through the same experience of rejection and abandonment. And I want to say, like, even feelings of guilt, of them perceiving themselves as making the wrong decision or making mistakes. They're really feeling badly. And it's often when we're in this kind of vibration, it's really hard to let go of unless we're doing a lot of healing work. And so they may be stuck in this feeling of feeling guilty for how they were in your connection. They may be feeling guilt over not choosing your connection. They may be feeling guilt over not being with you, being stuck in a situation that is also preventing them from being with you. And what I'm also getting is that they're scared of the changes that need to happen in order to come into union with you. This does also stem from their inner child. As a child, when they were young, they experienced a connection that they felt if these two people got together, like say a parent and a step-parent, if this connection, if they came together, that they would be forgotten. So this inner child, they're reminded of this inner child pain, that if you and your twin flame come together, that their inner child's going to be forgotten. And so the inner child tends to push away or not want to be in union because of fear of being forgotten or abandoned. So yeah, like I'm tuning into these emotions, and they're heavy, and it's a lot of sadness, and it's really, sometimes it's what governs their inaction. So they're not reaching out to you because of these emotions. And so that's why, clearing these and healing our inner child is so very important, because when we don't release those emotions, we get stuck in this vibration, and we're not able to move forward, not only in our twin flame connection, but in other areas of life. So let's find out what your inner child is going through that is blocking this connection. Can we please gain insight into what your inner child is going through? So this says your purpose is joy, which is the purpose of connecting to your inner child. Connecting to the inner child is where our joy is, not just the sad feelings, but also our joy. The purpose of your inner child is to reconnect you with joy, to reconnect to that childlike wonder and happiness that we had at a certain point in our childhood. And it doesn't even have to be big. It could be like little moments of just playing or being in nature, or, going swimming. It's just this inner joy that just comes from the simple things. And so your inner child is saying that there's not enough joy in your life. And I know that I can relate to this, because I tend to just work too much, care about everyone else except my own needs and my own inner child. So our inner child is really wanting to say to us that we need to have more fun, even if it's just having a bubble bath and playing with a rubber ducky in the bathtub. Like just the simple little things, even if it's, doing a quiet activity and coloring, or watching a cartoon, or going skating, or skateboarding, or going, whatever it is. I was going to say skydiving, but that's a bit extreme. Whatever it is that brings you joy, the message here from your inner child is that your inner child is not feeling enough joy in life. And when you're not feeling joy, you're disconnected from that part of you that is open to receiving joy and receiving love. So to connect to our joy means that we can connect to that inner child part of us that has fun in life, that can have more fun in life. So this is really what is part of what's blocking us from our twin flame, is because we're not experiencing enough joy. Okay. So let's get some insight into what is coming up, let's say, for you and your twin flame. What are the energies that are coming up for you and your twin flame? What are the energies that are coming up for you and your twin flames? So this one just came up. 8 of Wands. Let's take another one. Oh, the Sun card. Okay, so that is really good news. What's coming up for you and your twin flame is 8 of Wands is like fast moving energy. So what's coming up for your connection is that both of you are going to experience a lot of quick changes. So whereas in the past, things changed like very slowly, like they took a while to change. Now things are going to be happening so quick that the changes that we all need to make in our lives are going to happen quicker, which will enable us to come into union quicker, because this is the happily ever after card. It's the Sun card. It's the card of union, of joy, of dreams coming true, of everything. So the universe is now kicking in to help all of us quickly make the changes, make the transition that we need in our lives in order to have this happily ever after. So be not expecting, but be ready for things to just switch up like on the fly. Like all of a sudden you're living in a different city, or all of a sudden you're running all these businesses, whatever the case is. Like where in the past it would take time for that to happen, the universe is saying time is speeding up in the sense that things are happening more quickly for you. Expect that where you are today, right now, like even in a few weeks, in a few months, things are going to be changing for the better, because we've already been experiencing the crumbling of the old, and so new foundations are in place and fast changes are happening for our highest good. So I can say that like emotionally it can feel very anxious, and like we want to put on the brakes, but the universe is just going to lift us up and take us to where we want to be, to where we need to be who we need to be in the world, to be who we need to be in our twin flame connection. Not to say that, everyone's perfect as is, but these energies are about movement. So movement is about change is about transition. So all of these energies are supporting change and transition to something completely different. And the reason why it's going to be completely different is because our current reality is like crumbling, disassembling, and the universe is helping. We and the universe are creating a new reality. So be very mindful of the thoughts that you're thinking, because you're actually creating that. We are creating this collectively together. So let's get some love messages to end off the reading. Love messages from your twin flame. There's one. I feel blocked. So your twin flame wants to reach out to you, and they're just blocked by, again, what we said earlier. I'm getting the sense that they want to express their love for you, but it's just not the right timing, because, we're still going through this transition, and we are going into this energy of building anew. So as much as they want to reach out and say that they love you, that they want to connect with you, that they're just blocked at this time. So let's continue on with messages from your twin flame, love messages. Messages from your twin flame. Okay, so these came up. This one says, I choose us. Beautiful. This one says, I am thankful. They're thankful for you They're thankful for your love. I'm balancing my life now, okay? Because again, we're in this transition from this to this. So the crumbling of the old, the new foundation creating of the new. So this last one was, I'm attracted to you. So what I'm really getting is the more that we work on ourselves, fill ourselves with self-love, the more that we're a magnet for our twin flame connection. So despite what may be happening, your twin flame is still connecting with you, still on the same page. As hard as that is to believe, it is our job to release those negative beliefs, release those negative thoughts, so that we are a match, an alignment to one another, to our twin flame, in order to come into union. Because that is what's coming up. We asked, okay, what is coming up for our twin flame connection? And it's the Sun card. And this is like ultimate wishes coming true, reunion. It's coming. And if it's not here for us yet, it's coming, and we just have to trust in divine timing. So I hope this was helpful, and I really hope you enjoyed this twin flame reading. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and for subscribing to my channel. I love all of you guys so very much. We're on this journey together. So, you know, you're not alone. We're not alone. And thank you so much for following me on Instagram and TikTok, where I post more on Instagram, but I will try to post more on TikTok. But I want to thank you all for your support and your love, and for all your beautiful comments. I truly, truly am so honored to be a part of each of your journeys. Truly, it's an honor, and I thank you so very much. So please message me to receive the Innerchild Healings. Those are the services that I provide. I provide personal twin flame readings as well as Innerchild Healings. So please message me for more information, and I would love for you to receive these services. So again, I want to thank you all, and until next time, I'm wishing you all so much love and peace. Mwah.